Yeah, even if I sign a document.
Professionality marks you guys as being a different kind of firm.
Stood up in a way that portrays the unique selling proposition of the house.
Hi everyone, welcome to your latest Chit Chat session episode. You're with Gary Jonas, your host for today, and with me we have Lyndon, Christina, as well as Ruby, who recently sold her home with us. But we're going to go through the whole journey step by step. So Ruby, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, I think I'm blessed, and I'm very, very happy really to have met Lyndon and Christina. Well, how it started was because of my late sister. She has cancer. She's staying alone in Tampines. And fortunately, I have retired 3 years ago, and I spent time with her. And after she passed on December 19, that's where I, was given the authority or the rights to handle her flat and all her personal matters. And I've started to kind of look around for a reliable, responsible agent. And fortunately, I met an old friend. His name is Patrick, and he referred me to, he says, okay, Ruby, I've got this agent, reliable, good, I just contact him. His name is Lyndon.
That's you?
Yeah, that's Lyndon, yes. And he said, no obligation, just go along and make contact. And I called Lyndon, and thankfully he picked up my phone,
Okay, hold on for your thought for a sec. Lyndon, I've got a question for you. Currently now in 2024, what is your perspective of that area in Tampines? Maybe you can share a little bit.
I think generally Tampines has always been a very matured estate. It's a sought after estate. Even Christina herself personally stays in Tampines also.
For those who are interested.
Yeah, it has always been, it's like Bishan of the East.
A homey.
Yeah, everyone wants to stay in that area.
Yeah, everyone cycles.
Yes.
No, I think it's very near to amenities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my late sister's flat is near to the market, near to NTUC, coffee shop. I think importantly was next to the church, because my sister is a Catholic, so am I.
Right.
So it was near the Church of Holy Trinity, yeah. So my late sister, goes to that church. So it was kind of, I'm familiar. I grew up in Tampines anyway.
Right. So, Christina, maybe you could share a little bit more about when you came on board. Share with us your experience there.
So I remember meeting Ruby at her house. And then the house was still full with the sisters' existing furnitures. So we sit down in the house, and then we sit at the sofa, and then she put us in very cozy, sit together, and then we were using the iPad, and then we shared with her about possible ways of decluttering the home. But very thankful to Ruby as well. She's so trusting to us. So she literally said, let's do it. Let's clear everything from the house. And then that's where the whole decluttering starts.
What happened was when I retired, I start decluttering my own stuff,
I also just want to point out, I think Ruby, when I met her, she was really very prepared, which is a good thing to address, especially because we were in an estate sale. So an estate sale is a bit more complicated, but she had already done the will. She know how to get the letter of administration and all the procedures and all that. And during the decluttering, I think Ruby was very logical also.
So basically, this is a 3-room corridor unit. The house itself is actually pretty well maintained. The flooring are still in a very beautiful broken marble kind of the style, and it's well polished. And the kitchen is also pretty good condition. So the good thing is that we decluttered everything, and when the buyer walk in, they can actually look at the actual layout of the entire home. So when they come in, they know what they want to do. Right. So it's much easier for us to do the viewing.
How old was the house?
Yes.
I think it's about 30 plus.
About 30 plus years.
33 years.
Yeah. Old. Okay, so was that any a consideration to you all for the kind of buyers, the kind of demographic that was targeted for this home?
I think we were very upfront with Ruby, so that she has the right mindset on what's going to happen also. Like we say that number one, of course, it's a corridor unit. It will take some time to sell. Sadly, for this corridor unit, your sister also couldn't buy the recess area because there's the meter of the corner unit that's there. So she couldn't, older flats, you could buy the recess area, but if you have someone else's meter inside, you cannot buy it. So I would say it was a bit more challenging And because we were also trying to target a slightly above market price, and that's the reason. There was no rush to sell it off.
In my mind, I was I'm expecting a time frame that's set for myself, probably by, probably in the month of November 2023, I should at least complete the sale. So I was in no rush to get the buyer quickly. So in the month of August, National Day, I remembered, nighttime, I was relaxing at home on National Day with friends, so watching the parade. And I got a call from Lyndon and say, Ruby, we have a good buyer for a good price.
Right.
So I was, kind of speaking loud and repeating, where the audience in my house, my husband and a couple friend of mine. So they kind of gave me assurance and say, okay, Lyndon. I repeated, the price and, what was it like and all that. And I said, who are the buyers? And he told me it's a Chinese lady with the son. I said, okay, done. It was pretty fast. And I think what I liked was before this, even in the process of marketing, getting people to look at a house, Lyndon explained to me the process that there will be a video, and that I left up to him, and I just cleaned up the place. So there was video, he told me video done, viewing, and from there, that's it. I really left it in their professional hands, to kind of, the only thing I told them, no rush, just keep me updated. And I think probably their marketing skills of Propertylimbrothers agent, and also their professionalism in, kind of marketing the place helps a lot. So they may want to share some insight into the marketing of the place.
I think just to backtrack a bit, when both Christina and me met Ruby also, it was an estate sale. So we were able to advise because she was going to the States. So we were able to do all the transfer of the HDB branch before she flies, where she will be gone for 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, so it was just nice because it takes time.
Yeah, the timing was...
Yeah, so it's really very important if you're doing an estate sale, even though you have your will, your letter of administration, and both of us being very familiar with it, we told her to do the transfer before she flies. So when she's back, just nice we can start marketing the place also. Yeah, so that was one of the key importance.
Yeah, so basically this home is at a corridor unit, but thankfully is next to a corner. And also because this house, the good thing is that even though it's a corridor unit, but the unit itself is elevated, because you need to take up about 2 to 3 steps up.
Steps up.
Yes, it's a step-up unit.
Okay.
So it's actually, there's a privacy. But usually when we see that it's a corridor unit, the buyers are a little bit more, oh, it's a corridor, so there's no privacy. But in fact, our unit is actually at the better, because once you walk along the corridor, in fact, when you turn, for my height, for a taller one, you can hardly see through the window as well. So it's actually a good privacy.
Kind of a bit exclusive, in a quiet little corner.
And we also only have one neighbor, and they are just sisters, two ladies staying there. So the people who walk along the corridor will be very, very minimum. It's just the 2 neighbors. Yeah. So another challenge for our unit also, because our neighbor is also, they love to have some gardening. So they kind of have quite a lot, few portals along the corridor. Yeah, so they are pretty understanding also. We speak to them. We're able to help us to push the portal a bit closer to the wall.
Yeah, maybe Lyndon, you can share a little bit more about the video that you actually did for Ruby's home.
Okay, so I think generally for PLB, we are really known for our videos. That's why it's called a signature home tour. And the good thing is that because Adrian, who was the son of the buyer, he actually saw the video through, I think, online on one of our platforms. And he really got a good sensing of the house. Very honestly, when they first came to view, they didn't strike me as someone that is really going to put in an offer until we diligently just follow up. They came for a second viewing, then they really liked the place with seeing the video.
Yeah, it was like when Lyndon told me, oh Ruby, we're going to take a video, doing a video shoot of the house. I was like, wow, professional, so digital nowadays. That's wonderful, and you can reach out to a wider audience.
I think generally we want to show people what are the cons of the unit because we want to be transparent. The home tour is your first viewing and that is key. So we are not trying to hide anything, but we address it. And then when viewers come, we also advise them. And we work together with Ruby. We try to think of ways to not be direct towards the neighbors. Like for example, saying like, oh, there are some viewers on wheelchair. So maybe they need a bigger space to go through. They need to install a ramp. So maybe need you to move your bike. So, trying to be very sensitive about this kind of thing, and I think the communication really among all three of us helped.
I have a question for you, Ruby. Have you heard of Propertylimbrothers before?
To be frank, because I'm staying in I never move house since I bought this place, so I don't really go into property lines and source. There's no reason for me. Sure. I wasn't so worried about PLB, not a known thing to me. Would I be worried that it's a scam, with all this scam going around, But I think importantly is when I met them, they're professional, I mean, that's credibility. I think that's important. And and through my interaction with them, I feel that they're both balanced. They tell me the pros and the cons, not like a salesperson trying to push the sale and talk about the nice thing. But they actually tell me, oh, Ruby, maybe it's the entrance of the flat, there's some potted plants. Can you talk to your neighbor to see, can I tidy up, the kind of thing. So they gave me some feedback, which I thought was very useful. And actually, I'm very blessed, to have Lyndon and Christina to help me handle this sale. And I really thank Lyndon and Christina for this journey with me, telling me what to do with my late sister's flat and explaining the process and closing the sale smoothly with me. And I think I just want to say a big thank you to both of them.
All right, so Lyndon and Christina, is there anything else you would like to say over to Ruby?
Yeah, I want to say a very big thanks to Ruby because she really has 100% trust in both of us. Firstly is whatever we actually explain up and we do in very detailed timeline on what you should do, and after this what you should do after that. She really follow through, and because she trusts us, she also give us, each of us, a set of a key so that it makes us ease for our viewing for each of us whenever we have any inquiry.
All right, and Lyndon?
I was trying to come out with some things, but I think Christina covered it, majority of it, the cleanliness of the house. It didn't feel like a vacant home. It felt like the buyer's own home. Like it was an own stay, it's just that it was empty and vacant also. But I think really thank Ruby also for the communication that we had. So the two key things are trust that she had in us. Second thing was the open communication that we had with whatever struggles we had, whatever feedbacks we had. All three of us, we are always coming together to work on it, how we are going to address it, like talking to the neighbors, should we then clean it up, should we replace this, and all that kind of thing. The open communication was very important to...
Yeah, I think it's both ways. It's both ways.
Yeah, because it could have been a different way, right?
True. Yeah. I mean, I have friends telling me, yeah, you pay for agency fee, why do you let the agent handle everything? I was like, yeah, not everything, right? I need to make sure certain things, is the way I want it. But I think it works both ways. They were not pushy, they were helpful, and I wasn't a difficult client, and I just want to get certain things moving, and so they explained to me along the way. I didn't feel pressured.
Thanks so much, Ruby, for your time. Lyndon and Christina as well.
Thank you, Lyndon. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Gary.
Hey, thanks. All right. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.